Hey everyone, this is Acid Roots. I got a review for you, and this is the Ying twins. So, these guys are kind of a blend of crunk music, and they kind of go back and forth. Lil Jon happened to really blow up around 2004, but about after like the beginning of 2005, crunk music just really went into limbo, and then it was just abandoned. So partially due to that is just because most of these guys that were popular moved on or burnt out. The Ying twins dropped in 2005, where crunk music was almost a full year away from doing anything, and they weren't able to resuscitate it, but they also weren't really trying to. They didn't want to be typecast. Lil Jon was kind of burning out, and everyone else just were one shots. So these guys are about the second biggest in the crunk thing, but there's also numbers of crunk music. There's 3 6 Mafia's crunk, which worked out too. And all that means is just the type of music that you get a little bit wild to, you get energized, and you do things you wouldn't normally do. So, this usually leads to dancing or something like that. There are violent types, but there's also non-violent types, so you just have to decide. But so I'm disappointed in this album just because they didn't take advantage of the entire opportunities. There's a lot of skits as well, and so there's 23 songs on here, but about 7 of them are skits, and then there's a remix as well. So it just didn't work out that well. There are some surprises. That's kind of weird. There are some surprises, but I feel like liking 4 songs instead of 3 songs is not really a surprise. It should be a given. But the thing about it is that they really took a backseat to crunk music. It's as if they knew while working on this album that it was kind of dying. And the answer is it wasn't dying. They just needed to find new things to say, except for I'm gonna bang your head through a wall. That's the only real difference as to why this music didn't blow up further, because people got sick of saying, push that, push that nigga, whatever. It just happened that that did get tiresome, and you just needed to come up with something else. They were unable to do that, but they did get some extra songs on here that could have been, made a little bit of noise. And that's what's so surprising about this album is it did better than expected, but it didn't last. It didn't give the Ying twins staying power. And this is basically their last album where people paid attention. And the reason why was just because they didn't drop a song that solidified what they were going to do. They worked with Pitbull and Mike Jones, and I know those were the songs that were radio appeal. I remember hearing Bad, but they just needed something to say. They needed another song like Salt Shaker that was not crunk. So without Lil Jon, it just seemed like they weren't really getting anywhere. But the Wait song, the Whisper song, that one really worked. But you know, it just the type of songs that Lil Wayne or Ti would pull out of their hats. Just there's nothing like that. And by 2006, they were quickly forgotten about. So yeah, can you smoke to this? I only like 6 songs out of 15. So what that meant was there's a lot of junk here, and it's mainly due to the fact that you just don't know why they're talking about some of these things. They do try to make some R&B songs a little bit, and they don't really work that well. I mean, they have the potential to, but they just don't really quite pull it off. So Yeah, they don't. But yeah, the songs you can smoke to are Bad, Put That Thing Down, Shake, Hose, Wait, the Whisper song, and that's about it. About 1/3 of the album. Now the production, that's actually handled rather well. And the thing about it is that I was kind of disappointed that they did not take advantage of these songs better than they could have, because they do pick some good beats, and a couple of them, when you hear like the first 5 or 6 seconds of the song, The Walk, you think, hey, this is going to be another one, but then the production continues and it really ruins things. Pull My Hair, that one was basically going to be the sequel to the Whisper song, but it just, you know, you got to kind of put it in the context of, it just is a little bit too crass. It's okay to, have a fuck song, but, it's over the top a bit. And, um, then Fuck the Ying Twins. This was another one that was really close, but, it was close, but it didn't have a hook or anything, and it just felt like one long verse. So that was kind of something. And plus, I don't understand the topic. Just like they're talking about haters, but just it was kind of an awkward song title. But then Bad has a really good beat. Put That Thing Down sounds like Lil Jon did it. Shake is kind of a little bit. That one kind of works. You might like it. But all in all, in addition to the 6 songs that I like, plus those 3, it's about over half the album that has good production. Bedroom Boom is another one. And, if you listen once again to like the first 10 seconds, if they would have kept that, it would have been accurate. But the R&B singer on the song dropped the ball. It could have been like, you know, their own Best I Ever Had or something. If they just would have gotten like a Drake style hook or something, it would have worked, but they just dropped the ball on the song. So that's 2/3 of the album that had the potential to be good. So the unheard songs, these are the songs I liked, and they are Put That Thing Down, one of the best beats and songs on the album. Bad with Mike Jones is really good. Hose is another really good one. That one's kind of a dancing song. Shake is good. I mean, it's got like a really weird sample, and I didn't like that sample that much. It sounds like a song that you run to in the field in Africa or something. But I didn't like it. I did like the song. The Whisper song was really good, and then Live Again with Adam Levine from Maroon 5. So those 6 songs were worth it. And then there were a couple almost songs. Like I said, Pull My Hair was close, and The Walk would have been if they would have done the beat a little bit better. I mean, some people may like it. It's definitely a dancing song. It's kind of like a club song, but this doesn't quite do it. And then Fuck the Ying Twins was another one. These are close ones, but I didn't like them, so I'm not going to raise the score. It's difficult to recommend people because the Ying Twins, the direction they went with this album was different than they've done before. And just, they went so many different roads, it's difficult to figure out what they were trying to do. And, if they just would have made themselves like Tech Nine, except like a group or something, they probably would have done rather well. But they wanted to make money, so that's the difficult part, is just saying, okay, we need something to do. And this is what you're viewing is just, they needed a direction to go in, so this is what they came up with post-crunk. And, they worked, but it just wasn't something that was going to, it may have worked for one album, but it's not going to work for consecutive ones. So they just never, it quickly popped up to people that, yeah, these guys are not, lasting. And so, I can just listen to the music and it just is short lived. And, you can almost tell that they knew that they might not be around again. But that's alright, this song, with the quality of this album, if they were better, it would have happened. I did like them, but just the things that they needed to do, they did not nearly do enough of. Like some of these songs, like 23-Hour Lockdown and Fuck the Ying Yang Twins, they deal with different topics, but they don't really, the song titles just kind of push me away from it. And, obviously you need more than 2 or 3 upbeat records on your album. And My Brother's Keeper and USA were kind of, couldn't really, there are just a few too many songs that were more introspective. And, I don't know how many times introspective records actually work, When have you ever heard an introspective song on the radio? That's something that you gotta kind of pay attention to, and they needed to capitalize and create like a sound for them. And, then there were the R&B songs, which every single one of them, just didn't have a good hook. They were just wasted opportunities, and they weren't catchy, and I don't think any radio station would have played them. But, yeah. So, what that leaves you with is just, Ying Yang Twins could definitely do other things, but they just needed to think about what they wanted to talk about. Because, there were actually ideas that could have been done. Like, where are the car songs? And where are the strip club songs? And where are the, dancing numbers? There's a couple of them, but, you just needed more than that. We needed a smoking song from them. We needed, just some other type songs. It's like a Who I Am song, there's some of those. But, so I don't recommend this album. I just recommend getting like those songs that I told you about, because they are good and they'll make you feel good. It just doesn't dominate. That's the whole thing. It's capable. I know they're capable of making good songs. I'm trying to belch. They're capable of making good songs, but they just don't do it the whole time. So, yeah, the future, I don't really know where Ying Yang Twins is going. It's been several years since they've done anything. So, they may be on the shelf. But is this album social? I'm going to say not really. It is, but there's just not nearly enough songs. So I will give it a 4 social. And then I forgot to score it. That's another thing. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, 4.5 out of 10. A 6 out of 15 is about half. So 4.5 out of 10 and a 4 social. And I definitely feel like it can be topped. A record that I'm looking into getting is their 2009 album, because it seemed like they kind of went back to some of the stuff that people liked. So that one would be a good one. Ying Yang Forever. But alright, subscribe for more fun. I give this album a 4.5 out of 10 and a 4 social.